Uh, so what happened in the emergency room? Um, when I got into the emergency room, well, yeah, my husband told me he doesn't want to go in. He want to wait me in the car, and it's already 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And so I went into the emergency room by myself, and I told them I have suicidal thoughts, so they need to keep me in the clinic. They did, and they asked me a lot of questions, of course, and they get me into a room and asked me to take off my outfit and the shoes and take off phones and everything. At that time, I don't know actually. Later, they told me they already put all those things in bag, and those things are gonna be locked, and I cannot have access to them because they don't know whether I'm gonna use those things to kill myself or not. And also, there's people who sit. I'm in one room, and the people sit at the door to watch over me every second and make sure that nothing happened to me. And and yeah, when I get to the restroom, they need to make sure I don't lock the door, and I don't really use it as a chance to suicide. Now, because when I went in is almost midnight, and so there's no doctor there. The earliest time I can see doctor is 7 o'clock in the next morning. Um, so just stay in the room. Um, I cannot sleep. The voice is still on, so I'm still repeating, "God is with me. God is with me. And God is with me." Um, I can sleep as long as I close my eyes. The tears just can come out like a fountain. I can stop it, and and the small emergency room they decided that they cannot handle my case is they need to transfer me to the main campus. So at night, 1 or 2 o'clock, um, they transfer me in ambulance to a real hospital emergency room, and maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, and a nurse comes in and told me that my husband is out there because he didn't know that I was transferred, and asked me whether I want to see him or not, and I choose to let him in, and he come in, and yeah, he didn't know that it's so serious. He told me he waited in the car for 4 hours, and then falls yeah, and then he falls asleep and wake up, find out it's 4 hours later, and that's still not. And so he went into the emergency room, and they told him that I was transferred to the hospital. And that night, I wasn't be able to sleep the whole night. And what I do is, for the whole night, I keep repeat to myself 4 words: God is with me. God is with me. God is with me. And in many people, when I share my experience, many people ask me that how can you be sure, and when you're so broken, how do you still remember, still believe those things? I tell them because that first, that's the bottom line of my life, and also um, right after I become a believer of Jesus, I bought an iShuffle and I put in the worship music, so I can, when I walk to school or walk back from school, I can listen to the worship music. And on the back of the iShovel, they can engrave. So I asked them to engrave 4 words: God is with me. That's the 4 words that I want myself to remember all the days of my life. So I not just engrave those words on the back of the iShovel, I also engrave those words in my heart, in my mind. So even though I'm that broken, but as long as I have a breath, as long as my spirit lives, I know God is with me. And I believe it. I never doubt about it. I can lie. God cannot. If he says so, it must be so. And the next morning, 7 a.m., I finally be able to see a doctor. And instead of face-to-face, the doctor didn't come into my room. They use a video. And use a video and after a lot of questions, the doctor asked me, do you want to be hospitalized or you want to go back home? I said, I don't know. So she asked me, if I release you from discharge you from the hospital, where will you go? Where do you want to go? I said, I don't know. So she decided to directly transfer me into a mental facility. That hospital is well designed for people with mental health. They have a special design for the restroom and for the cafeteria and for everything that make sure those people with mental health problem, they won't hurt themselves and they won't hurt others. So I'm in the ambulance again, and I was transferring to a mental health facility. And while I was transferring, I started to see things that see trees are moving or things in the cars are moving, which is not. So I know I'm really in bad condition, and I have the very, very high risk of loss of my life, but I didn't. I'm the winner.